All right. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Mind Espresso episode 25. Let's go. You are the cause. There's no one else to blame. You know, Bob Proctor says very powerfully that the outer world is a reflection of the inner world. And you have to really think about this because most people think that this is the cause or that is the cause, or I am here because of this or that person or this or that situation. That is not the cause. That is the secondary cause, but not the primary cause of your results. And if you want to change anything, you could always look at the primary cause, not the secondary, right? So every result that you experience in your life, in your work, personal, whatever part of your life, the money in your bank account, the energy in your body, or the lack of it, the opportunities in your path are always a reflection, a mirror of the internal mind or internal world, right? And so Tuesday, we actually talked about the power of thinking. Who was here on Tuesday? Let me know in the comments. But Wednesday, we discovered the subconscious genie, the mind that obeys every feeling. Wednesday, we learn how vibration, the cause and effect, shape what we actually attract into our life, right? And so today, really want to bring all of that together and into a very, very powerful truth. You, and only you, are the cause of everything in your life. And before you don't realize that, you cannot be free. You can't be free mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, emotionally. You cannot be free until you realize this truth. And this truth alone can set you free. You are the only cause, and you are also the only solution, and the best solution in the whole wide world. What does it really mean? Bob always said that, right? And Bob always used to say that if you don't like the result you are getting, you don't need to change the world. You need to change you. Because you are the problem, and you're also the solution, right? And this is not to blame you, and you shouldn't be hard on yourself, but this is more for expansion of your consciousness and of your awareness of the cause. And I remember when I first really heard that from Bob, it really stung with me because it was honestly hard to admit that I'm the problem. It was hard to admit. And, the economy, hey, Sonia, because like most people, I was blaming circumstances. I was blaming other people. And mostly I was blaming circumstances. I think at least consciously, I was not blaming so much of other people, but rather what was happening to me. And I didn't think I was the cause, most of the time. And so the economy, timing, other people's behavior, sometimes that too, or lack of resources, that's the problem. That's what I believed. But when you really get this, and by getting this, I don't mean intellectually, I mean emotionally. When you get this, that you and only you are the cause, that's when everything happens to shift. That you are not the effect, you're the cause, and everything changes for you. Once you really truly understand it. But you have to understand it. And Bob often told the story of when he was broke, and the very, very beginning of his career, before he actually started teaching this, he was working in a fire station, a fire department. and as a fireman. And he blamed his job, blamed his pay, his colleagues, his past. But when the day came when he actually accepted that his results were actually the expression of his own mind, of his own internal world, that's when everything started to shift for him. And he stopped saying, I can't. And one of the biggest, and he actually started saying, I will. Right? And that single decision changed his vibration, changed his behavior, and ultimately in his entire life. And the outer world did not change first. He did. A big part of that change was by reading the infamous Think and Grow Rich book that he carried around for 65 plus years every single day. If you look at Bob Proctor's event recordings on YouTube, you will see, I will tell you that, you won't see a recording where Bob Proctor comes to stage and he does not have Think and Grow Rich book in his hand. Because that was how impactful the study of Think and Grow Rich was for him. And so let's break it down for you into 4 very, very powerful truths for you that really anchor this week's lesson for you. So the first part is results. Results are effects, or effects, multiple, plural, not causes. Results are the fruit. This is the end result, not the seed of it, right? But if you try to change your results directly, either it's income, your health, your relationships, without changing the thoughts and the paradigm that actually created them, you are just trimming the leaves, like when you cut a hedge, instead of changing the roots, right? And to change the fruit, you must go to the seed, not even to the root. Because the cause, which is your vibration, this is what is actually impacting it, right? And so, second, you always operate by law. You can't bypass the law. This isn't just philosophy. This isn't just something I made up or Bob made up. The law of cause and effect clearly states that every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. So what does this mean? This means that you can trace any result, every result, back to a state of mind, a frequency. We talked about frequency yesterday. An idea you accepted once, a feeling you held once, on action you repeated. That means you and your success isn't up to chance, isn't up to luck, it is up to your awareness. Third, circumstances reflect. They do not dictate for you anything. Circumstances, everyone has them, but most people live circumstances and live from the outside in, reflecting to what they see with the physical eyes, with the senses, what they experience with the senses. But circumstances don't create vibration. You do. Vibration creates circumstances. And when you shift internally, in thought, in feeling, in energy, 3 levels, the world must shift that match. You will start attracting right people, circumstances, situations, resources, people to shift your energy. And that's how new opportunities, new situations, new people, or new ideas start appearing almost sometimes even overnight, seemingly out of nowhere. And then fourth is equally powerful. Personal power comes from your responsibility. Because responsibility isn't something you blame, it's ownership. And it's the moment you start waiting for change and you realize, and just me, nobody else, I am the one who is creating this. That awareness has power. And it also means that I can change that. Right? Because when you see yourself as a cause, you also see that your ability to see that, you see that you can cause something new. You can create a new cause. It's like standing in front of a mirror complaining that your reflection won't smile. Right? You have to smile first. Then the reflection repeats, right? It does it with you. So here's a small exercise for you. Grab a pen and paper if you can, or do it afterwards. And write this sentence at the top of the paper or your notebook. I am responsible for my results. I'm responsible for my results. And that's the best news I could ever get. Because it is. Now think of one area of your life that you feel stuck or a bit of a slow tempo at. Don't judge it. Just ask yourself, what's the thought, what's the belief or vibration that's been causing this result? And write that down. Then, choose a new one. What is a thought that aligns with that what you truly want? Not what you think you want, but what you really want. That new idea is the new cause. And so this week, what I want you to do is understand what you actually learned is the mechanics of manifestation. Of anything. Thought, feeling, action, result. You discovered the stick figure graphic, the map of your own mind. And you met your genie, the subconscious mind that obeys every single command that you give it to, with no selection. It has no preference. And you also learn that your vibration determines everything you attract. Now, you stand at the top of the creative change and you are the cause. And now you're aware of it. And here's the challenge for the weekend. We meet again on Monday. Every time something happens, good or bad, just pause. Smile, if you can. You always can. And say, I caused that. I did that. And say, I did that too. I did that too. Not to blame yourself, but to reclaim your power. Because when you live as a cause, you live consciously. And when you live consciously, nothing is out of your reach. Nothing. So, I will give you this question to ponder about. If you truly are the true cause of everything around you, what will you cause next? This is your Mind Espresso. Thank you for tuning in. See you next time on Monday. Bye-bye.